Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. We're continuing our deep dive into this radical, there it is, my pen, this radical feminist book. It is punchy, so a lot of periods awful, but I do think it benefits us as Muslim women who happen to be in the West and who have seen the rot of feminism to dissect what it is these women say, line by line, section by section, because it is a project that must be done. So let's continue on that journey. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now we're on chapter 8 and it's titled The Home Front. So let's see where she takes this. Let's begin. Bismillah. Sooner or later, every revolution comes down to who does the dishes. SubhanAllah. God, we're still under this. Just wash the damn cups. If you don't want to do the dishes, okay? Like, sometimes my husband will help me out if I've made a dessert and I made bread that day. I wash dishes like 3 times a day. Before I go to bed, I make sure the sink is empty. It's not so bad when you have dishwashing gloves there and you listen to a podcast. It's what, 20 minutes. Get over yourself, okay? It's romantic when my husband helps, but I don't expect him to. He pays for all the groceries. And I don't mind at all. I don't mind. And I prefer kind of, because I'm a little OCD and I sometimes like things my way. And me doing the dishes allows it to be my way. For all the gains, she can eat off paper plates. Get some chopsticks, get you some paper plates from recycled paper, and those bamboo forks and knives, you lazy woman. For all the gains women have made in the workplace, there's one crucial front where inequality remains entrenched: the right to equal work itself. Across the world, women are still doing the majority of the essential work that holds human society together. No. Essential work that holds human society together? You know what holds society together? Police. Women are not good cops. I've made videos of this in the past. Tons of women cannot overtake a male, and because of that, they fire their gun off and murder, cold blood murder people because they cannot physically dominate, so they are trigger happy. They're just blasting holes into people. It's just not right. Women firefighters, if there was a man who was taller than her, she can't carry him out. It's not good. Women cannot physically lift other women as well as a man can. Okay? No, it's just plumbers, architects, the sewer lines, welders. Those are the people who are keeping society together. Infrastructure. I'm going to write that to the side here in the margins. Infrastructure is majority male. Police forces, firefighters. And they're doing it largely invisible and for free. It is still women, in particular, women of color, who do most of the cooking, the cleaning, the childbearing, and child rearing, without which every economy on earth would collapse overnight. Okay, so 1 second here. So she also hates white women. So she's like, hey, white women, you don't take care of your kids as much as blacks do. Now, if you look up the statistics in America, what races have the highest rate of single motherhood? Okay? Now, that's gonna tell you, like, okay, what's going on. And single mothers have to use daycare more, because they literally have to work 2-3 jobs. Okay? And that's a problem, in my opinion. And cooking, okay, we should do some research on what ethnicities cook the most at home. I'd argue it's Chinese and Latino. I would say Latinos are probably number 1 in America. First generation immigrants, they're cooking a lot at home. Okay? Whereas whites and blacks in America, they're often eating out. whites go to like upper class restaurants and then fast food, and then with DoorDash, you have a lot of people eating out, but it's quite ridiculous. Quite ridiculous. She shouldn't single out women based on that, and men participate in child rearing as well. A man can't get pregnant. I know liberals, that makes you mad to say, but yes, women will have to grow the child, but tons of men now cook. Come on, like, this is just ridiculous. But I also prefer my cooking than my husband's, even though he's trained in culinary arts. I met him when he was working as a line cook, so he can make his wonderful food. But I like to do the cooking. It makes me happy. Okay? I don't need to be paid. He doesn't need to give me money every time I cook. He gives me money for treats, and he gives me money for he pays for the groceries, 100% all the groceries. That's like $400 a week. All organic, the best we can afford. There's been times where he didn't get enough money from work and we had to go to the food bank. And I still make the meals great because I have vast culinary experience. Okay? I like seeing my man eat my delicious plates of food, and he gets all kinds of meals. Okay? So he's out working, and he doesn't. Some days he's gone by 7:30 a.m. and he's back by 10 p.m. He works every single day. Some days he'll have a half day, but he works every single day. I get to be a stay-at-home mom. What kind of evil witch would I be if I didn't have some type of treat there for him? Even I remember story time when we first got together. I used to make him breakfast before he would go to work, and when my toddler is a little bit bigger, I have no problem making his lunch for work. He'll take some of my food to his job, even though in all his jobs he gets free food. I like it. Like when I make cookies, and he said, "Oh, I'll take some with me for my coworkers." That's wonderful. It is generally women who care for sick, elderly relatives, women who devote their spare energies to organizing family life, making sure doctor's appointments are made, smoke alarms replaced, birthdays celebrated, bottoms wiped, and temper soothed. Sorry, let's okay, so doctor's appointments. My husband has scheduled doctor's appointments. Usually we go to the doctor's appointments together for our little tots, because I don't like to drive, so he drives us and we're there together, and we make the appointments around his schedule. Okay? And so it's better if he makes the appointments because he knows his schedule better than me. He's the working man, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Alright? Now, birthdays being celebrated are around his schedule. So he will tell me if anything is being celebrated, any type of celebration, or anything along that lines, like a little, like, or when a kid graduates from kindergarten and you want to have a little thing, you celebrate, right? Because they say birthdays are haram to celebrate, but my point is that, like, oh, you're moving from first grade, or you did great on a test, let's have a celebration. Whatever it is that needs to be celebrated, my husband will tell us what day it'll be done because his schedule. Bottoms wiped? Sorry, when I'm in the shower. My husband's on diaper patrol. Okay? He buys the wipies. He pays for all the diapers. Okay? He buys all the clothes. He buys everything. Okay? And he doesn't say, oh, the baby's full of poop, so here you go. No, he handles it. I think most dads, if they smell that the child has a poopy in their diaper, they just take care of it. Okay? Temper soothed. Tons of little girls run up to their dads to have when they're being fine, like when they're crying. You know, my husband has helped immensely when the youngest one was having a complete meltdown. He maybe can't do it for as long as me. Okay? But it's still, he tries. And he'll say, oh, like when I didn't know breastfed babies could still be colicky. And when my baby, excuse me, was colicky, he helped out a lot. And that was hard on both of us. I think women who've had babies who are colicky and how their husband helps them, it's really important. Now, elderly relatives, my mom doesn't help out my old grandma and my old grandpa that much anymore. And it's my uncle who does the lawn mowing and everything else, because my grandpa's 80. I think my grandma's like 77, maybe. I think she's 77 now. And my great grandma lives with them as well. She's 90 something, like 95, or like she's like really old. She's in her 90s. And so when they have winter, it's my uncle who is taking care of them. And he also takes care of them financially, takes them to the airport. So, no. And I asked my mom, and she's not that kind of nurturing woman. She's not nurturing towards her grandchildren, towards me, or her own parents. So, again, I'm sure many of you, if you looked at your family, you'd be like, yeah, there's some women who are nurturing, but to pretend that men don't play a role. And remember, in Islam, men are the caretakers. They're the leaders of the family. So they spend money a lot on stuff, okay? And boys take care of their mamas if they have a healthy relationship. You know, women do all this not because they are better at it, but because someone has to, and because men largely refuse. Okay, so what about men who work in the old folks' home? I've seen tons of men have to lift up those little old ladies and who have dementia and put them into like the bathtub and help them. There's female nurses, no doubt about it. But let's not pretend that the male doctors and the male ambulance workers and the male police officers and everyone else who helps keep elderly people alive doesn't play some type of role. If we want our machinery of employment, power, and profit to keep running, someone has to do the hard work of looking after everyone. Someone has to have the babies and raise the kids who grow up to run the machines. Someone has to make sure we have homes to go to and hot food on the table at the end of the day. Okay, so if you don't like women cooking, do you also hate men being the majority cooks in restaurants? You know, the amount of line cooks who are doing 10-hour shifts in busy kitchens, and the amount of male dishwashers, the male janitors, okay, the male head chefs. Let's not pretend men don't play a role in food production, food service, and agriculture. Okay, so while you're at home cooking, don't you dare forget the man, and it is majority men, who are working in those large monocrop fields. I've shared screenshots of El Campesino, and when a man does that job, women don't feel bad. When a woman does that job and she's on her period, women will say, oh, how poor her. Because they say, like, oh, a woman can do everything, but you gotta feel sad for her when she's working on the farm because she's weaker and men are stronger, so you don't have to feel bad. But you should appreciate the men working in the hot sun, picking the lettuce, the spinach, the strawberries, everything, the corn, so that you can actually have something to cook, okay? And the truck drivers who deliver the groceries to the supermarkets are majority men. So you got men growing the food, men delivering the food, okay? So don't ever shame men as if they don't help feed society. Someone has to keep the communities and families from falling apart. How many really bitchy women cause gossip in the family? You want to talk about that? How many aunties can't stop gossiping about so-and-so's weight, so-and-so's dress, so-and-so's relationship? How many really cunty stepmoms can't get their gossipy shit together? How many have we seen? Quite a lot. Okay? I don't want to sit here and pretend like women are always the peacemakers who don't cause hell in people's lives. It's just ridiculous. It was my female cousins who would cause the most drama. Male cousins were just playing Xbox. They didn't really give a damn. But tons of women in the family, they just can't get over their egos. Someone has to look after anyone who is too young or too old or too sick to look after themselves. And usually that's women. Gender inequality is hardwired into the way the world economy operates. So she's priding women on taking care of people when they're young, old, or sick. But she's at the same time saying, we don't want to do that anymore, so we want men to do it as well. Don't you lose your speciality? Don't you lose your little victim card then? Maybe some women like doing that. You don't always have to make everything equal on the terms of that these radical feminists propose. It's just not something that has to be done. Women and girls have been required to do certain types of work purely on the basis that they are women, and then because they are women. She just said that to us. The work that they do has been falsely assumed to have no economic meaning. Housework is not work. Sex work is not work. Emotional work is not work, writes Jess Zimmerman in the essay Where's My Cut? Okay, so sex work is degenerate and you shouldn't be paid for it. If you want to have intimacy, get you a husband. I'm not gonna respect what you do. I don't care if you suffer on such a degenerate job. You ruin families, you spread diseases, and you create corruption in the land. So, I don't care about your workers' rights while you're getting plowed by a pot-bellied dude. Housework is not work. It is physical work. Do you want to be like living with a bunch of bugs, you know? And if you want to split certain chores, just talk to your husband. Like, men will naturally do some things themselves. Like when you have to clean the gutters, they'll handle that. My husband does landscaping, so I don't mind doing that. I like mowing the lawn. I like being in a garden. I grew up having to do that for my grandparents. That was my job. Okay? Raking the leaves, mowing the lawn, shoveling snow, getting up on the roof, spraying the satellite. Back in the old days when you had those satellites, so that the ice wouldn't stick. We used Pam, this spray called Spam, or whatever, Pam. But I helped them, and cleaning out the gutter in the front driveway, because you get leaves and stuff. So I don't mind using the weed whacker along the fence, the grass cutter, bzzz, that thing. A leaf blower, it was fun. You blow like this, you'd have it in your face. I don't mind that at all. But some men prefer to do those, and that's fine. Because some women, they don't want to. And housework, when I was breastfeeding, my husband helped me with the bathroom. Because the baby would literally scream without being on me like a kangaroo. And I'm not gonna wear my child while I use chemicals in the bathroom. Sorry. You know the pouch, the sling? That's not gonna happen. And he's gone at work. And he would prefer me to hold the baby and him clean the bathroom than have to deal with entertaining the little one when she was going through her whiny phase. You can find ways to make things work. But vacuuming is nice. It's no problem. Emotional work is not work. Okay, let's go. So, because they don't take the effort? No, because women are supposed to provide them uncompensated out of the goodness of our hearts. You get compensated in a different way. So if you want to make everything about currency and getting paid from your husband, okay, he's gonna do. If he flips the script and starts putting the same on you, she's almost like the 50-50 lifestyle. It doesn't make women feel very feminine and makes them more masculine. If he's out there working hard, hot meal, intimacy on demand, a tidy home, you know, because when the toddlers are small, they create little tornadoes. But at bedtime, everything needs to be cleaned up. You can teach your kids to clean up, and your other kids can clean up their toys. It's really not that big of a deal. And if you don't like a mess, you can have a minimalistic lifestyle. Okay? There's so many solutions, but she's not offering you any solutions. She's just telling you, here's all the things you should do to complain about your heterosexual relationships. You can be a divorced woman, alone, drinking wine, eating edibles, and using dildos. That's what she wants for you. We've already seen how public life is poisoned by male entitlement to women's services, sexual attention, and emotional labor. Okay, hold on. Let's really break this down here. Emotional labor. How many women say they get a divorce because their husband isn't meeting their emotional needs? Women require their husbands to be these empathetic, emotional tampons, and then that's emotional labor. So she wants men to do emotional labor, but she just wants women to be these cold-hearted, callous, cunty, dead like Morticia Addams Family chicks, or to be some type of gold digger who's so egotistical and narcissistic that the man just avoids her because all she cares about is money. Okay, and sexual attention. How much do you see these gym girls on TikTok? They dress like their clothes are so tight, and then they get bubbly each time a man looks at them, and then they complain about it. And then I've shared screenshots in the past where you'll see these people who whine about how Muslim men don't make eye contact with them and don't look them in the eyes when they have these long conversations, or they look away and don't look at their chest and stuff, and how it makes them not feel human. So the women demand that Muslim men look at them. Michaela Peterson did that with Muhammad Hijab. So she wanted sexual attention from Muhammad Hijab, and she felt dehumanized if she wasn't getting sexual attention. You see, you can't win with these women. Either, oh, you look at me in the gym? Pervert. You don't look at me while we're on a digital call? Oh, you don't respect women. That entitled attitude does not end at the office door or the college gates. One recent study of the value of women's unpaid labor valued it at $10.8 trillion worldwide, more than the combined income of the 50th wealthiest global companies, including Walmart, Apple, and Amazon. Okay, so hold on for a second. Our reward is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every good we do is gonna help us on Judgment Day. How does the hadith go? If our husband dies while he's pleased with us, we get a better chance at paradise. But you want your husband to be pleased with you because it actually helps you spiritually and on your day of accounting. Mothers who also do paid work have been quietly drowning under the double shift of office hours and domestic duties for decades. Yeah, but you told them to do that. You told them work mattered more than staying home. You told them to compete with men. You told them to be masculine. You told them, you feminists, that they shouldn't be these beautiful, kept women who men provide and protect for. You told women to wear pants, to go work a minimum wage dead-end job and grind out a 40 to 50 hour work week and put their kids with nannies. You told them to do that. Religion, Islam, tells men that they are the maintainers of women, okay? And tells women to often stay in their homes. Tells women don't free mix with men. Okay, there's so many things there of both Christian and Islamic gender roles. Okay? So if you're both going 50-50 and you hate it, it's because you feminists told people to go 50-50. So you can't tell people to listen to you, and then when the results suck, you blame religion. Religion never told women to go out and work at Walmart. Okay? No, the children are tiny. Be with them. Let a man provide. But you said it was slavery. You said it was slavery to be a stay-at-home wife, and then you're bitching about how a woman has a double shift and domestic duties. So you want the men to do different roles, and you both want to work, but you still want to play victim. So the dad does play a part in child rearing. So the dad has to go to work and take care of the kids, and you want to go to work and take care of the kids. So you're both doing it split. 50-50 relationships really don't... There's so little romance involved. We're just burnt out. I have felt way more feminine now that I've retired from the workforce. Definitely allows me to cut out a lot of stress. The division of domestic labor is hard to accurately assess because it relies on self-reported data, and women plagued by guilt at not being good enough at doing it all tend to underestimate the hours they spend working in the home. Hold up. Washing dishes, vacuuming, cleaning the bathroom. Time yourself and see how much you do. Okay? When the little kids is tiny, it's mostly toys that they get out. And just those toys can take, 10 minutes to clean up? You have a toy box. If you don't like cleaning, have less stuff. Live in a smaller space, or have a very empty home while your teeny tiny tots are little. When your kids are older, they'll help too. Everyone's helping. It's totally fine. If you just want to be binging out on Netflix, eating pizza and eating edibles, well, you're being lazy. You're being a sloth. Okay? Teamwork makes the dream work, but there's a balance to where you're not doing injustice to anyone who's helping you. Men, by contrast, tend to overestimate their own contribution. During the COVID-19 lockdowns of 2020, study after study reported that most of the additional housework and childcare associated with the crisis fell on women. It's almost like she wants women to stop being like the traditional moms and to go to work and pay an immigrant nanny. But then if they hire a poor brown woman, she hates white women for doing that. It's crazy. You can't win with this lady. Men, unfortunately, still seem to want housewives. Aha, there it is. There it is. Key word there, family. She said it's unfortunate that men want housewives. She's your enemy, ladies. She is your enemy. She had just told you right now. She doesn't want you to have the luxury, the honor, the privilege, the dream of being a kept woman. She doesn't want you to do that. She wants you to go work at Subway, McDonald's, and to go work in a hotel cleaning up some hooker's juices off some nasty mattress. She wants you to not be able to be with your children. She doesn't want you to be a gem adored and loved by your husband. She doesn't want you to be able to go to the spa and relax and then come home pick up the children from school, have a nice meal, and your life is peace and harmonious because your husband goes out there and battles against the world and provides for you. She sees that as unfortunate. She wants you to ditch your kids with a nanny. She doesn't want you to have the spiritual bond with your children because she hates religion, as she mentioned. Okay? She thinks you're not important as a mom. You should be out there working. So while you're folding pants at Target, she thinks you're empowered. But if you stay home as a kept woman and beautify yourself and make nutritious food and have a tidy home, she sees that as bad. You need to be wearing tan khaki pants at Target and folding the same pants and making everything straight and dusting. You need to be working at Starbucks. She sees that as better than being a provided for woman. Remember, she's probably jealous. As she mentioned earlier, she would put out real fast and then she'd get friend-zoned when she started talking about how she has a high sexual appetite for different men. So she has a lot of pain, in my opinion, from being rejected by men because she's so rebellious. She wants to lead you into hell. Who wouldn't? In the past several decades, as women's employment has risen to match men's, men have barely increased their share of work on the home front. In fact, attitudes are actually regressing, as almost half of millennial men now believe that women should be primarily responsible for cooking, cleaning, and childcare. I will tell you this, ladies. I know you might be mad, you may be 18 years old, 21, 25. Maybe you didn't have a good mom and you've been around these occultic crypto feminists for a long time and they've just brainwashed you to bite your lips and hate men. But imagine how nice it would be for you to have a masculine man in your home. He's in shape, keeps his beard nice, he has strength when you're tired, and you get to have life how you want it. Take a shower when you want, wear pretty dresses inside your home, that are pleasing to him. You get to have morning intimacy, afternoon intimacy, you get to take a shower right after, you get to cook good food for your children, you get to have orchids in your house, fresh bouquets, you get to have nice soft skin and a good smelling mouth because you get to brush your teeth 4 times a day. You get to draw, paint, bird watch, sit by the ocean, have a picnic with your children because your man provides. Or do you want to be, hi, how may I take your order? What would you like today? Would you like fries with that? Next car. Hello, welcome to so-and-so. Would you like fries with that? Next car. Hi, would you like... How many women on TikTok are crying about how they hate working so much? How many more meltdowns are these women having? Really think about it. Don't let these women confuse you. Don't let them. It's very relaxing to cook. It's therapeutic. The better you get at it, the more fun it becomes. The more you want to explore, right? It's great. And childcare, taking care of the little tots, there's crafts, there's things you can do where they can entertain themselves. Like the other day, we went and got some donuts, fresh donuts, and we sat and enjoyed them under some redwood trees. And the redwood trees have these little mini cones. And I told them, my kids, okay, let's play a game. Bring me tribute. I want little cones, So I'm sitting there, and I'm drinking my iced vanilla latte that I made. And my little tot and my eldest are like bringing me all these pine cones, these redwood tree cones. And it was so cute hearing my little one say, come in. And then she'd hand me one, and I'd be like, thank you, tribute for the queen, oh, I demand tribute. And they just were having fun looking for them in the grass, and brought me sticks, and we put them into a pile. And it was really fun, and it was just, like, great, And today I took them to the park, and there's a lot of nannies there, lots of nannies, actually. And I see all these cute little tots playing in the special playground. And it has like a nice fence around it for the little ones. And then there's the big kid ones over to the side. And there's all these redwood trees around. It's super beautiful. There's a creek. It's very relaxing. And we're in the shade. And it's just wonderful. You could hear the birds. And I'm enjoying a nice bagel with a lox cream cheese. And my vanilla latte. And watching them play and having total peace and harmony. Alhamdulillah. Thank Allah. That's much better than me being a server and arguing with the line cook about how he didn't cook the steak how it was supposed to, and then trying to sue the customer so I can get my tip. And I gotta go bust this table. I gotta go make this cocktail. Manager's pissed at me because so-and-so didn't like their mashed potatoes. Or, my coworker's in a cunty mood, gotta walk on eggshells. I gotta go work on my period. And I hope I don't bleed into my pad and my leg because I have a full section of tables. You just can't compare it. But that's why I do these videos. It's important for women to hear multiple sides before they decide what road they're gonna take. Okay? I've been both now. And that's where you have to say, someone who's done both, how it can be. She's never been a housewife from our knowledge. Okay? Many of these men consider themselves progressive and are vocally comfortable with the idea of women's equality in the paid workplace, but unwilling when pressed to give up the privilege of having a woman take care of the boring, repetitive chores. No, hold on here. The chores don't have to be boring. Listen to podcasts. Educational ones, like the amount of Islamic knowledge I've been able to have by reading, but also listening to stuff as I do chores. Remarkable. I'm Ajax in the sink, cleaning the stove. And I'll put on someone. That's why I like people who produce long-form content and they're consistent in their uploads, because housewives like myself, we need content and we burn through it. And when it's an interesting speaker or something where knowledge is just being exchanged, it's so much better. Not Jerry Springer or Wendy Williams or some type of nonsense. But you'd be surprised how much you elevate your knowledge when you put on something educational. You can put on the Quran. I mean, tons of stuff. Tons of stuff. They don't have to be boring. And you can have different days where you do different chores. Switch it up. If I want to have a nice scented candle on after I vacuumed, right? What scented candle type will I light after my cleaning? Maybe I'll do cinnamon incense or vanilla or lavender or rose, pine or birch tree. Because after you clean, it's always nice to have some scent in the air. How do I want to do it? Okay. When I want to dust or organize something, maybe I'll start from a different room than I did last time. It's the great feeling when something's clean, and there's always going to be a mess. Because when kids are small, that's just the way it goes, okay? But you don't need to feel sad about it. You just have to find a way. Because work is repetitive, hello? And work is boring. Oh my god, when I think about how I would sit there waiting at the window, and I'm like, okay, I got the appetizers out, table 14 needs their dessert, I gotta smile. Hi, yeah, see you later. Let's come again. No. The unequal division of domestic labor is the last unfought battle of women's liberation. Look at her. Oh, God forbid I have to vacuum. Be thankful that you have a vacuum. Oh, God forbid I have to take out the trash. At least you have a functioning sanitary service in your community. Oh, God forbid I have to wash our dishes. Hey, at least you have clean water to wash your dishes. Oh my God, I gotta clean out the fridge. At least you have a fridge. These women don't have no gratitude, I'll tell you that. They don't got any gratitude. That's why they're always looking for something to complain about. Miserable wenches. Been almost impossible to fight. And it's a battle that has in the past been almost impossible to fight. Because it plays out in private kitchens, behind bedroom doors, in individual relationships where women cannot organize collectively. So collective organization. People who try to put a wedge between the husband and the wife really don't care about society. They want women to fight against their husbands. She wants to separate you from being a housewife, to go in and working for the man. Going and working for a corporation. What she's selling you is not gonna be fun. That's why you got all these burnt out nurses who smell like cigarettes and they just hate their job because they can't retire. No man wants to retire them, or they hate their husbands and don't want to be home because they picked the wrong guy, and they're just grumpy, cold women. They got no warmth to them. They're just tired, burnt out, and crusty. Without reliable ways of coercing women into continuing to do that work for free, capitalism as we know it would crumble. Okay, so okay, what about China and their sweatshops? China has a bit of communism and a bit of capitalism. So show me one country that's fully socialistic where women don't have gender roles in the house. Am I supposed to believe that a woman's destiny is to have her baby torn from her and she's kicked in the back to go back to work and the baby's put with a nanny, doesn't get to breastfeed, and where the man pays half the bills and while the woman's pregnant, for example, he's like, pay me half of the rent. So she can't tell her husband, I don't want to work while pregnant. I want to stay home. He's like, no, you're equal, so you have to contribute part of the rent and part of the bills. Get back to work, pregnant lady. That's what she wants for you. She doesn't want you to have the luxury of being a protected, beautiful, loved woman. It's no surprise then that it is in the context of the home, in the context of the family, that sexual and economic freedom is most under attack. Okay, sexual freedom, so she wants you to get ran through different dudes and to just let countless men make you smell like their fluids, and to say, okay, I had a little bit of fun with you, and then they ghost you, and then you're like, oh, I don't feel very good. I want to have one person that I cuddle with and who comes home to me and validates me and who I'm bonded to. She's like, no, you don't need that. What you need is a constant rotating door of men who can give you a disease, and you need to do high-risk behaviors of inviting strange men into your home, and you need to be getting ran through. Because you have sexual freedom, so you need to maximize your freedom. So just go ahead and rack up that body count, girl. And eventually, Mr. Romeo's gonna come along and say, hello, you. Oh, you had 300 men? And you have 2 STDs? And you've had 3 abortions? Oh, I totally want to wife you up now. No. She's leading you down a path of destruction. Economic freedom. Hey, girl, don't let that man work 2 jobs to provide for you at home. No. What you need to do is go work at a gas station and risk getting robbed by random strangers. Come on, show me you got economic freedom. Go out there. Yeah. Go out there. Absolutely brainwashed. Don't trust these feminists. She said it's unfortunate. Trust the religious women. Religious women who've walked away from the feminist mindset. Women who are getting in touch with their feminine side. I don't want to say the word divine feminine. I just don't know the Islamic term to call it. Our fitra. Right? I want you to sit back and I want you to think about, while you're working and you're wearing pants and a button-up shirt and you're being barked at and you're getting superly emotional stress, your hormones are out of whack, you're tired, you're stressed, and to think how wonderful would it be for you to, you be on your bed that smells like fabric softener, when you've just washed your bed sheets and they're all fresh. Think about you being in a nice, pretty sundress, and your children are playing with their toys, and you're sipping on your mocktail. Those are the kind that don't have alcohol that you've made. And you have some fresh baked cookies going in the oven. You have some dough rising. Your community is peaceful. You see the trees. You see the birds. Your pets are happy. And you're fresh. You have your hair's washed. Your feet's moisturized. Your cuticles are wonderful looking. Your hands are soft. And you're not burnt out. And then your husband comes home. He takes a shower. Later on in the night, your kids go to bed. You two share your moment together. And you just have that feminine, like, your caveman's coming home. And you get to be this sort of garden nymph for him. Or you can be your little Xena warrior princess that dominates your man intimately, or you have very aggressive intimacy or soft intimacy, whatever it is. But you still get to be prepped and beautified, perfume smelling nice, your mouth is fresh, you know, you don't have a stale, stinky mouth from being at work all day talking, and you're properly nourished, properly hydrated, and you just feel totally at peace. You know, that's what you can dream of. That's like being an aristocrat. Really think about that. You know, getting that pleasure of being a kept woman. There will be days where it's hard, right? But I'd argue it's why the tots are tiny, because they demand more of you. But think about, you could be coloring with them, goofing off, making funny hats. It's really adorable when my little one gets the dustpan that I use to sweep the kitchen. She's trying to help, you know. I give her a little wet paper towel. She'll pretend to wipe something, you know. It's really cute, man. You know. That's the life. Not me being in the restaurant world and being like, okay, everyone, have you looked over the menus? Any questions? Oh, yes, so that is from blah, 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 blah. No. You get drained having to talk all day to customers. I've been a telemarketer. I've had all kinds of jobs. I am the most happiest I've ever been. Yeah, being housewives can be stressful in certain periods, but I can tell you that the amount of evil people that don't have access to you is wonderful, because you can literally keep them out of your nest. Going out into the world is more of combating evil, drama, worrying about getting robbed. You know, women at work are awful. So I have a community post I'm going to share where it just talks about how many women complain about having to work with other women. It's fascinating, just how the gossip that women do. It's wretched, and I've seen it. I've never worked at a place where the women weren't complete gossip merchants, always looking for an angle, judging. I remember working in this one cafe. Oh, her name was Nicole. Oh, she was so vain. She would just be like, ugh. I don't know how her husband did it, but just working with her was very difficult, because she was always trying to put others down. And she had crow's feet on her eyes, and that was her insecurity. So she'd constantly be talking about, like, oh, I want to get these fixed. And she had to put other women down on their imperfections so that she could feel better. And it was just like, man, I really don't want to work with this chick, you know. But I always was trying to be respectful, you know. I didn't ever argue with her, but she was awful, and she was like a bully, you know, a very vain bully. Like, if she had a mirror, she would always be checking, like, thank God she never became a manager. Oh boy, you know, thank Allah, you know. But I think tons of women would actually realize how better it would be to be home, even if you are poor, but you still cut out so much evil. Look at the Disney princesses, for example, like Belle, Beauty and the Beast. She tamed the beast in a way, symbolically, and had servants and guests, and she wasn't told, you know what, you should go work at CBS. You should go work at a call center. No. Just imagine, fam. I'm telling you, these feminists, at first, they make you feel like a loser. The LinkedIn crowd. Like, you want to be a mom? You want to do it? Like, what? I remember in high school, they put down the college brochures, and I just never really felt right. The way they pushed this on us. You know, no homemaking, no talk of marriage. It was debt, debt, debt. Quite bizarre. Quite bizarre. Think about what I've said, and may Allah protect us. and I hope you found this work beneficial. If you'd like to support my work and see more about what I write, you can do so by going to www.subscribestar.com/MilahanArchive. Hope to see you there.